Hey there, Trailblazer users. This walkthrough is going to focus on identifying your newly acquired donors or benefactors. This search will always begin in the contacts component. But as always, I'll remind you that this is a custom label, so it could appear as donors, voters, members, or whatever your database administrator has opted to use for this umbrella label for your contacts. You can always find it. You'll find it below, or rather above the addresses and households, below your calendar and tasks, so events, event participants, and even this canvassing component. So you can find it right here in all instances, but again, the label may vary. So I'll tap on my contacts component, and one of the first things that I'm going to address here is I've added two columns to the end of my search results. And these are custom columns. The very first one will show all gifts prior to 2022, and then the last column is going to show all gifts in 2022. When we finish our query, what we should find is results where they're all zeros down this first column, so all giving prior to this year, and then 2022 will have a dollar amount for each one of these donors. Now, I will stress that you can update the dates in this query to meet your needs. I am obviously filling this in 2022. However, next year, if you wanted to run this same search, you would just adjust the dates accordingly. If you wanted to look at it with prior dates, you can certainly do the same. Now, let's go ahead and dive into the search itself. We're going to begin by tapping on the Contribute tab. And once we've opened this up, as always, everything is turned off until we tap on the Connect or Disconnect search unit. And then the very first set of data we're going to search for here is going to be those individuals that gave prior to 2022. So I'll go ahead and just put in an end date here. I'm going to leave the start date open, but I'm going to put in an end date of 12/31/2021. Now, I'll go ahead and run my search here, and then what we should find is that every record down this prior to 2022 is populated. So we know that this isn't exactly what we're looking for. So we need to take the additional step to suppress those individuals who gave this year. So we're going to proceed back up towards that Connect or Disconnect unit and tap on our Show Advanced Functions button. This will expose all of our advanced functions. And we're going to work our way down to the activate or inactivate not condition. Now, if you've watched some of my other walkthroughs, you'll know that I refer to this as something that looks like an index card with a little green plus sign in front of it. And once you tap on it, that green plus sign turns to a red X. So we've now told the system to exclude those people that gave prior to this. So I'll go ahead and run my search to update the content. And one thing that I've neglected to touch on in this video is you do not need to run a search as you enter your criteria. It's not a requirement. You can put in all the criteria and then run the search. I'm just doing this for the purposes of the example to kind of show you the progress, and you can see how it's working and updating throughout. So we've now moved to where in the responses here, we've identified individuals that did not give prior to 2022. And so then if you look over here to the right-hand side, we're still going to have some zeros over here because, well, we've got people that have just never given. But what we want to do is now reduce this to just those individuals who have. So it's time for us to add an AND statement. So we're going to return to that list of advanced functions button, and we're going to tap on this item. It's a little orange and white ampersand icon, and if I hover over it, it says that this is for narrowing our search. This is an AND statement. So we're going to tap on this, and it's going to give us the ability to say our group needs to meet this criteria, which we're looking at now. In this case, it's everyone who's not given through to December 31st of 2022. And then I'll tap on my AND statement, and this is now going to represent the year 2022. And so now we need to plug in our amounts or our dates for the year 2022. So I can leave this because right now I am filming this in the middle of the year 2022. So I actually could leave this wide open. But for the purposes again of the exercise, I am going to go ahead and close this out. So I will do December 31st of 2022. And now I'll go ahead and run my search. And we'll find all those individuals who had not given before and have given for the first time in the year 2022. So if I look over here, I'll see we've got 499 new donors to our organization this year. So we can see how our fundraising events are going and reaching out to new benefactors.